In October of 2014, 17-year-old Laquan McDonald of Chicago, Illinois, was shot and killed by police after he was high on drugs, wielding a knife, trying to break into cars at a car lot, and had the police called on him. Again, high on drugs with a knife. Okay? He was shot 16 times and killed by a police officer in Chicago in October 2014. Just recently, within the past couple of days, the video, I suppose the dash cam footage of that incident has been released. Before the video was released, just a few days prior to that, about a year after the original incident, the officer was charged with murder. The releasing of the videotape sparked riots in Chicago. People want to call it peaceful protests, but what I saw was a riot. Now, I'm confused because in many of these other quote unquote peaceful protests, which are just thinly veiled excuses to go riot and loot and steal and just be in the street creating havoc, the people always said, well, we want justice. We want to see the police officer arrested. They never get arrested. They never go to jail. He's out on the streets while my friend, my son, my brother's in the ground. Okay? Now, I don't recall seeing any kind of protests or any kind of riots or anything in October 2014, November 2014, December 2014. For this situation, I only see it now after he's been arrested. Does it make any sense? Does that make any sense? Isn't that backwards? See, their narrative that they normally have has been proven to be false because it is not matching what they normally do. Their narrative is not about justice. Their narrative is about hooliganism. It's about acting up. It's about stealing. It's about being antisocial, anarchist, and hypocritical because let's talk about Tyshawn Lee. 9-year-old black boy shot and killed by gang members in Chicago. 9-year-old who was targeted. It was not a drive-by on some guys on the street. He got caught in a crossfire. He wasn't in his room doing homework like Jamila Bowden was and getting shot by some fools on the street for the stray bullet. No. Those are bad enough because you have reckless people who don't care where their bullets land. If those situations aren't bad enough, this little boy was targeted by adult gang members and shot killed. The community knows who did it. Nobody wants to say anything. People are too scared. Stop snitching. There are no protests. There are no riots. There are no marches. And this just happened recently. This happened on November the 2nd, 2015. It was all over the news for days. The mother of the little boy, who did not have custody of him, started a GoFundMe page. Do you know what she did with the GoFundMe money? Bought a brand new 2015 car. Where's the outrage for that? Where's the rioting and protesting against her, against the gang members, against the constant black on black violence, which is a scourge? Where is it? The only time Black Lives Matter is when that black life is taken by a white person. Black person, kill another black person, no big deal. Another story. In New Orleans a few days ago, you had 16 people get shot at a child's birthday party. And I've heard that story before. At another birthday party, and I think it was in Detroit, you had 10 people to get shot at a birthday party. Philadelphia, it was the same story right around the same time earlier this year. These are mass shootings, aren't they? I mean, if you get 16 people to get shot at one place, isn't that a mass shooting? If it was a white male shooter at a school who shot 16 people, it would be all over the news. But since it's black on black violence, we trying to just, push that to the side. We sweep it under the rug. It doesn't matter how many people get shot and killed. 16, who cares? It's just black on black. If that had been a white male shooting 16 black people. Oh my goodness. You have to call in a National Guard. The city would be on fire. But you don't have that. You don't have that. What you have is hooligans in Chicago staring down police officers. And see, this whole thing in Chicago exemplifies what is wrong with the Black Lives Matter movement, and it also exemplifies what the Black Lives Matter movement is all about. You have riots and protests after the cop got charged with murder in the shooting death of Laquan McDonald. You have evidence of the crime. So what more do you want? In days prior, in protest riots prior, you would say, we want the evidence to be released. Then you would say, we want the officer to be charged. Then you say, we want a statement from the mayor. We want this, we want that. Okay, your wish is my command. You have it. Now, why are you just now rioting and protesting after the fact? It exposes the fact that Black Lives Matter is just a tool to destabilize black ghettos and to make them malleable for whoever wants to come in there and put whatever ideology on top of it. It's a way to make money. It's a way to get attention. I've said this before about the I think it was a McKinney, Texas situation, and about the people like D. Ray McKesson and the fake black person Sean King, which I don't even know how he still is even on, how he's still relevant. I mean, I don't get it. How can a guy that is obviously not black, obviously white as snow, how can he be respected in the black community as a black leader of sorts? How can Sean King be respected when he has had not one, but two different charity organizations that he started that have both folded, and the volunteers in those organizations, most of, if not all of whom were black, have all had the same disparaging remarks to say about him, about how he is not transparent with the money, about how he puts it in his pocket, that doesn't tell you what's going on. He'll shut it down, keep all the money, and tell everybody, go F yourself. That's what he does. And see, the thing about it is, who's going to really challenge him? I mean, you won't challenge him on the fact that he's obviously not black. So why would he think you would challenge him on the actual money? If I can pretend to be somebody that I'm not, and I'm obviously not that person, it's like, if I can fool you into thinking I'm an actual giraffe, I'm sitting here, I'm a black male, and I can fool you that I'm not a human being, I'm not black, I'm a 11-foot tall giraffe. I could tell you anything and you believe it. And you got a lot of people like Sean King infiltrating these movements for their own benefit, for political purposes, to appear to be on the side of the black male. Bernie Sanders, chanting Black Lives Matter, having dinner with Killer Mike. It's all a game. It's all a game. Then you got people like the media. You got the Melissa Harris Perrys of the world. You get Richard Fowler. And Richard Fowler, oh my goodness. Richard Fowler, you need to be ashamed of yourself. You got on Fox News and said with a straight face with Megyn Kelly that this boy or this man staring this officer down, you can see it in the picture, and I'll put a video of it in the description box below. You say that this man staring this officer down is his First Amendment right and it's okay. You don't see anything wrong with it. Come on. You know he could not do that to anyone else other than the officer. You know he could not go back to his ghetto, his hood, and stare some nigga down in the face. You know you couldn't do that. Peaceful protest, you're right. You want to protest the dope boys and stare them in the face? See how quick you get some of that hot lead up in you. Then you want to call the police, the same police who you disrespect all the time. It encapsulates it. In Chicago, you have a false narrative. You have foolish hooligans allowed to run amok. You have the con artists, the political pimps, and the disingenuous white liberals, black liberals in the media. So you have all these people. You have all these people that have their hand in the pot, stirring it up, trying to get some money out of it. That's what it's about. Black lives don't matter. Black lives matter. Money made from Black lives matter. Status gained from Black lives matter. Ratings earned from Black lives matter. That's all I got. Peace.